Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For supportive oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night. And on the back here is who it's from. But if you look it up online, on Amazon especially, you should be able to get them easily and see who the artist is. Artists are. I think there's more than one there. I want to go with these. And I want to pull it from the bottom. That's fun. Okay. Why not? Why not? This is Aries. Okay. The Three of Coins is also here. I feel like there's a money connection to this with the Three of Coins. A lot of mystery of what's going on here. This is something that's going to start off confusing, but I feel like you're going to figure it out as we keep going, and you're going towards a really good ending. Is that the theme lately? I swear, this seems like the theme. You're going from a very hard place to a much better place. Let's see. I'm going to actually flip over a couple more cards because we're starting into this. And you come into a situation very quickly. It's one of those situations, it almost feels like an ambulance coming in. You just kind of come in quick, got to get things done, got to do what you got to do. Somebody's having a really hard time. In the environment is the Ten of Swords. Your Eight of Wands is coming in really quick to handle this. A lot of quick action. Somebody's failing very bad and having a really, really hard time. This really makes me feel like you're the ambulance, you're the paramedic on the ambulance. You're the person that's here to help. You're the person here that's rushing in to help. When you get right involved in this, you got wishing with the Ten of Wands, kind of oh, this is a lot. This is a lot to handle. This is a lot to deal with. But I feel like it's one of those things where you don't have enough time to really fully evaluate it. You're just we gotta fix it now. Again, the ambulance connection. It's kind of we're not gonna sit there and mull it over and oh, are you bleeding out? Oh, do you got a headache? Oh, I guess that's an issue. What are we gonna do about that? That's not how this can be handled. It's what, you're bleeding? Okay, we gotta stop that. All right, we gotta replace that blood. Okay, you got your head hurts. All right, let me look at you. Let me see your eyes. Look at me in the face. Stuff like that, whatever that means. I don't know where we're going with that, but this is kind of we're not gonna sit here and just go, maybe, okay. No, there's no time for that. There's go, move. Let's do it. You're bleeding. We need to stop the bleeding. You got a headache. Let me look at you. Okay, we've got to take you to the hospital so we can have some tests done to see what's wrong with you, to make sure there's nothing seriously wrong. You're just moving forward. You're just we're just going to handle it. We're going to handle it. We're going to make our best guess and just keep moving. Because if we sit here and just go, oh, well, that's going to make this a lot worse, and we could have a very devastating outcome if we don't keep moving forward. So you're pushing it forward. You have to. You seem to be a very positive energy in the sense of there's no time to sit here and whine or worry or fret. It's got to move, got to fix, got to go, got to do. Let's move it. It may seem very harsh and very militant, but it's necessary. Sitting here wondering, whoever's failing and whatever the devastation is you're dealing with around you, there's not an option just to sit here and think it out. You got to move. And there might be some wrong decisions made, but you know what? If no decisions made, that's definitely even worse. That's just how it is. So I wouldn't feel bad about any decisions that you look back, because hindsight's always 20/20, and oh, I wish I did that instead, or I wish I did this instead. You did the best you could. Choices are coming up, and it's pushing up more on your side, but you're not the only one making these choices. It is in the action line. It's just pushing up towards you. So, what has to happen here is I feel like you are pushing forth choices, and it's kind of you're do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And they're well, I don't know. Okay, then let's do this. And unless they push back, you're actually making the choice because, again, can't just sit here and fret about it. Can't fret. Whew, a lot of strength here, a lot of strong. Okay, this isn't bad, but we're going to keep going. This is the next card. Like I said, this isn't bad. The Tower is telling me you're pushing forward. You're not creating the tower. So I feel like this is important to say. You're not creating it, but by moving forward, handling things, dealing with this devastation around you, it kind of it's shaking. It's kind of you're shaking that you're shaking a faulty system and it's falling apart. You're shaking the faulty system, but it's not your fault it's falling apart. It's kind of like either you shake it apart now and handle it, or you just wait for it to keep slowly falling. It's going to fall apart anyway. That's the point. It's a faulty tower is what I'm getting. It will fall apart anyway. There's this weird energy kind of like, well, I guess I shook the tower. That's why it fell over. It was falling over anyway. You shaking the tower brought people's attention. You being there and shaking it at that point allowed it to be taken care of and people to pay attention to it. This is not your fault. This was going to happen anyway. I just feel like some of you were looking at it like, yeah, but I shook it and it fell. Like if I didn't shake it, it wouldn't have fell at that moment, but it was going to fall anyway. This tower falling is not your fault because I feel like there's a lot of people blaming themselves. Like, yeah, I shook the tower, so it fell. The tower was coming down sooner or later anyway. I hate this. I have to be careful how I say this. Think of it this way. You shaking the tower, people were alert and aware and waiting for it. So the tower fell, and it didn't fall on anybody. Well, people were aware and able to take care of it and be able to get out of the way. If you did not shake the tower, it would have fell with unsuspecting people under it. And I feel like there would have been more devastation. It wasn't fun when it did fall. I'm getting that. It would have been worse if people weren't paying attention and it just kind of fell and then like they didn't see it coming. That would have been a lot worse. So for those of you who are beating yourself up like, yeah, I shook the tower so it fell, would have been a lot worse. Would have been a lot worse if you didn't shake that tower because when you shook it, people were alert and ready to handle it. If you didn't, people would just have like been stunned. Like it fell, people would have been more devastation, would have been a worse outcome. There's a lot of energy with this. Woo! The ending is very positive. Hold on. So let's keep going because I feel like this is like Sagittarius reminds me of this. Like the situation is what the situation is. Where it ends up is another thing. This card is face down. I feel like you're going to have to keep control of this situation, but it's not something where you can say, I'm the leader. It's something where you see somebody having a hard time, you kind of go towards them, you help them make decisions. If they can't make decisions, you say, do this, and they do that. It's kind of like the unidentified leader. You know what I mean? You're not really claiming a title. People aren't coming to you as if, oh, I heard you were the leader. No. But it's basically like you're watching a situation, you're seeing this happen, that person's kind of fumbling, they're stumbling, they're fumbling, whatever you want to call it. Let me go towards them. What are you doing? What's going on? Okay, we got to make a decision. You want to do this or that or that? You don't know? Do this. This is what I would do. Do this. Here's something to start. Go. Do that. And they do that. So the individuality, I know it says individuality, but I feel like it's kind of like a leader energy, but it's quiet. It's kind of like you're holding true to your thought, your voice. You're not pushing your will on somebody, but when somebody can't make their own decision, you're helping them make the decision because if they just sit there and fumble and fret, it's not helping them or anybody else. It's face down again. Again, I know it says individual, but I'm feeling a leader energy. But I also feel like you're staying separate from it. You're not claiming an individual title. You're not claiming the leadership title. You're basically saying, oh no, you can't just sit here and fumble and fret. Keep going. Did I say that like 5 times? Probably. Why do we have to say that so many times? Because you might have to reiterate that to other people 5 times, just to be fair. You might have to keep helping people. Whew. The Moon card comes in. Things start to shape up. Things start to shape up. What they're warning you about here, because you do make a difference, you do have to help, and you do help. This card reversed is like, don't get caught up in the outcome. Things are going to start looking better. Things are going to start feeling better. People are going to start making their own decisions again like they should. Just be aware of it. You're going to help people get up and you're going to kind of direct them what to do. That's only going to have a temporary moment. And I feel like that's, again, why that's individual and why it's face down. It is a leader energy. You're helping people stand up and start moving. You may send them down a path, but they might get like a little ways down and go and veer off their own way. That's fine. Just be aware of that. The lust reversed, I feel like they're saying just let it go. Don't worry about it. Just as long as the situation is moving forward, just let it be. Let it take its own course where it needs to go. Let it take its own action. The moon card is kind of like, well, I thought this was going to go that way, but you're seeing it go a different way, not really knowing where this is going to end up. Just detach yourself from the outcome and just realize it's going to go better. People are starting to get back on their feet. People are starting to make their own decisions like they should again. Don't get too caught up in what other people are doing. Even though they're not going where you expected them to go, like you help them make a decision and they only go so far and then they start veering a different way. Let them do what they need to do. Don't get caught up in it. Don't get too attached to the outcome. You'll be okay. Because what I'm getting here is the High Priestess coming in with the High Priestess of Air. The two of these cards together are people balancing out what's happening, what's good, what's not. There's a lot more communication happening. When this part is happening, balance is starting to come back into the situation. When more communication and more talking is happening, a lot is going better here. Addressing what's not working, moving closer to what is working. I'm getting this 10 of Cups on your side. You seem to be looked at as a helpful energy. You also seem to be looked at as somebody who picks up and stands up and keeps moving forward. You don't let people sit there and fret. You keep things moving forward, and because of your energy, because of your actions and keeping people moving, the situation is literally getting better at this point. I feel like your energy is being looked at as if you hadn't done that, they'd all still be just kind of wallowing and looking at each other and still in the very bad part of it. It'd still be a very, very bad situation if you didn't pick people up and keep people moving forward. So this part where you're worried about the tower and you're kind of feeling responsible for the tower falling over, I feel other people are also saying to you that was going to fall over anyway, and because of the way you handled it, we were all alert and ready to deal with it. It's better that you did what you did. You're getting some community support here. Other people saying, nope, that was a good action. No, that was right. You did the best you could and you helped everybody move forward. Had you not done that, we'd still be wallowing in a sad, rough place right now. Things would not be better right now. They'd be worse. They'd probably be worse than what they were. So instead of them being worse than what they were, you being a part of it made them a lot better than what they were. I hope that makes sense. Because there's a lot of gratitude I'm feeling coming towards you. The King of Cups in the environment is that people are very much thankful and happy that you did what you did. I'm feeling that you're literally getting the gratitude you deserve, and it's mostly about, like, people don't want you second guessing or feeling bad about this tower moment. It seems like other people are concerned, like you're going to look at that like a negative thing, and they're just saying, no, that was going to happen, and because of the way you did it, it could be handled. And people are trying to, like, show you, like, the way you did it. Like, everybody looks back with 20/20 vision. That always happens. But you handled it the best you could at the time, and it's better than just sitting there wallowing. If you didn't push things forward, it would have went worse than what happened. It would have went a lot worse. Success here is at the end. At the end of the day, the situation was not fun, but it worked out pretty much the best it could have. I know you're still going to look back with 20/20 like, yeah, but if I did this, and if I did that, that would have been better. This would have been better. But I'm getting it worked out the best it was supposed to work out. And it's leaving other people opportunities to fix things themselves. So I'm getting it literally worked out the way it should. You did the best you could. You were very human, like we all are. I'm getting not to question what you did. Just realize you did the best you could. Self-auditing and looking back and going, I'd rather have done this. I'd rather have done that. If you empower yourself with it, like if I come across this situation again, these are the choices I'll make instead. That's good. Thumbs up on that. That's good. But only if you use it in an empowering stance. Like if this happens again, I'll handle it this way next time, or I'll do that instead. But don't beat yourself up about what you did before. Just empower yourself. If I have to do this again, I'm going to make different choices. This is why. This is what I will do. Empowerment, good. Don't look back with regret. Just realize you had to go through that to learn that. Okay? I feel like this is really good. Like, a lot like Sagittarius. I feel like Sagittarius was very similar. Your energy, a part of this, extremely helpful, extremely needed. Things pulled forward. I feel like this ends the best it's gonna. And I even say that knowing that you're gonna look back going, yeah, but there were other things that could have went better. True, but you were meant to learn certain things. Other people were meant to learn certain things. It worked out the way it was supposed to. That may be a harsh lesson, but it really did, is what I'm getting. And you being a part of it was really, really helpful, really, really wanted, really, really needed. I think that's it. I'm going to stop with the blah, blah, blah. So I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.